Elon Musk, Twitter, the city of Miami, and the US government are all now crypto bulls. However, there's a sleek, sexy, but quiet elephant that's trailing behind them. Apple, the biggest company in the history of the world. But they've recently shown a chink in that armor. They've flashed their cards unknowingly, revealing their plans to enter the crypto market in 2022. In fact, the CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, has personally revealed that he's invested in cryptocurrency and very interested by the technology that it brings. Now, there's a lot of speculation that Apple are about to follow suit. Exactly what are they planning? Will they drop an Apple coin? How can you and I benefit from this? Well, hit that like button below and we'll jump straight into it. So, Apple have been on the cutting edge of technology. In fact, I came across a crazy stat. When do you think Apple.com registered their domain name? Well, Google and eBay were registered in 1997. Facebook, of course, a little bit later in 2004. But Apple's, the OGs, registered their domain name in 1987, just 2 years after the world's first domain name was ever registered, which happened to be symbolics.com. This shows how ahead of the times Apple used to be. However, a lot of people these days are saying Apple is slowly falling off. I mean, how long did it take for them to put a 1080 HD cam into a MacBook Pro? Like 12 years or something. And this is causing a problem for Apple, because just like a lot of people left their jobs, including Jeff Bezos, to go and join the internet revolution, Apple and some other big companies are now losing their top talent to crypto companies. Sandy Carter left her job as vice president of Amazon's cloud computing services this month. She announced in a LinkedIn post that she was joining a crypto technology startup company and included a link for open positions at that startup. Within 2 days, she said she had over 350 people from many of the biggest internet companies had clicked the link to apply for that firm. So on one hand, Apple's really being forced into this play because they don't want to lose all their rockstar employees to the latest cutting edge technology. But of course, it's in Apple's own best interest to actually implement some of this new tech into their massive company. But just how big would this be for crypto? Well, whatever Apple's doing these days, it's working. They're literally the biggest company in the history of the world. They have just under a $2.7 trillion market cap, and apparently they're sitting on an insane amount of cash. $204 billion US. That's a lot of money to lose to inflation. But the best representation of exactly how big Apple is and the impact that this would have on the crypto market is this. Apple were insanely late to the wireless headphone market, which is a pretty big market. It's long been the #1 search term on Amazon. But this is what happened when they finally entered the game in 2016. By 2017, they'd sold 16 million AirPods. By 2018, 35 million. 2019, 60 million AirPods. And in 2020, they sold over 100 million AirPods. This would give the AirPods alone a company valuation of $175 billion. That's if AirPods was its own company and sold no MacBooks, no iPads, no iPhones, just the AirPods. $175 billion company. That would be the 32nd biggest company in the US. And it's just one of their many products. So imagine just what's going to happen when Apple brings its influence over to the crypto realm. And there's becoming more and more evidence of exactly what Apple is planning to do. So I want to go through the top 5 leaked evidences that Apple are moving into crypto and exactly what I think this means for us. Number 1, Bitcoin icons. The first rumor came around that Apple were trying to integrate crypto into the Apple ecosystem was from these Bitcoin icons. Apple added 4 crypto icons into its icon set, all of them showing the Bitcoin logo. And no other cryptocurrency logos were among the 1,000 newly released icons, suggesting that Apple is only supporting Bitcoin at this point. Evidence number 2, the CryptoKit release. Apple have been creating developer toolkits in the crypto space. And if you go to the Apple website, you can access it for yourself. Apple plans on empowering its employees with the skills and abilities in order to perform cryptographic operations securely and efficiently on a range of Apple devices. And at the bottom of this Apple CryptoKit, you can see something quite peculiar. A disclaimer. This documentation contains preliminary information about an API or technology in development. Bum, bum, bum. Very obviously, blockchain. But if that's not enough for you, here's number 3, filing patents or patents, depending on where you're from. Earlier this month, CoinDesk spotted the patent application that talks about 3 ways for verifying timestamps, with one involving the use of a blockchain. Apple said in the patent application that using blockchain to create and store timestamps can protect a secure element. For example, a SIM or micro SD, storing confidential information if a single node is compromised by hackers. Evidence number 4. If this isn't the biggest flaming pistol, then I don't really know what is. Apple are literally hiring blockchain developers. And this all started way back in 2020, when Apple hired Jeff Bronakowski, Warner Music's former head of technology innovation, who was working on a number of the blockchain efforts to create digital assets using a public blockchain called Flow. And since then, they've been seeking a lot more developers. Just a year ago, Apple is seeking a person with cryptocurrency background for new alternative payments job, where the job description clearly states the person applying to this role should have 5 or more years experience working in or with alternative payment providers such as digital wallets, BNPL, which is buy now pay later, fast payments, and cryptocurrency. And even looking more recently, Apple have started to hire Rust developers. Rust is the program language used for building decentralized applications on Solana. But before you run off and buy a massive bag of Solana, Rust is not exclusive to Solana like Solidity is to Ethereum. It is a general purpose language that a lot of blockchains are employing, but very likely or very possibly, Apple will be using these Rust developers to facilitate their blockchain development behind closed curtains at Apple. And flaming pistol number 5, Apple's leaked quotes. Apple have actually been very vocally approving of crypto and blockchain within their Apple ecosystem. In November of 2021, Apple were asked would they consider accepting cryptocurrency through Apple Pay. Tim Cook, the CEO, replied that crypto is something that we're looking at. And more recently, we've seen Tim Cook reveal that not only is he personally interested and invested in cryptocurrencies, but Apple as a company is also working on something.
It's something that we're looking at. It's not something we have immediate plans to do.
Do you own crypto and any Bitcoin or Ethereum? Would you play around with this?
I do, yeah. I think it's reasonable to own it as a part of a diversified portfolio.
But what about Apple Coin? Well, there's a lot of speculation as normal that a lot of people can get rich if you buy early in Apple tokens. But you have to understand there's a big difference between blockchain and a cryptocurrency. Coins, tokens, and currencies are only one application of blockchain technology. For example, one of Apple's patents are focused on the security of their devices and how blockchain can actually assist that. Now, this doesn't mean that Apple token isn't coming right now, but it's going to take a while for regulation to actually catch up. And it doesn't mean that you can't get wealthy off Apple and all these other big companies implementing blockchain technology into their actual ecosystem. There's actually many ways you could do this. So all I ask is you hit that subscribe button below because I'll be covering them here as they pop up. So if not launching a token, how exactly would Apple enter the crypto or Web3 market right now? Well, here are 2 great suggestions. One of crypto's biggest onboarding tools so far is MetaMask, the ability for us all to use a wallet attached to Chrome. A big idea is why don't Apple launch an in-browser wallet for Safari and their 21 million users? Secondly, they could create a hardware wallet using your iPhone. The iPhone has a hardware feature called a secure enclave built into it. It's a subsystem on the iPhone A1 chip that stores information such as passcodes and biometric data for sensitive applications like Face ID and Apple Pay. The iPhone could become a secure crypto hardware wallet to hold private keys for digital authentication. I think of course Apple will join Web3 like all big companies will who don't want to go out of date and lose a lot of money. And they're perfectly positioned to bring 1 billion people into crypto over the next few years. This also helps the 2 billion people who are currently out there and don't have access to a bank. They call them the 2 billion unbanked people. They don't have any access to financial services. This could be solved with just a phone and the right crypto software that Apple produces on top of that phone. But even more than this, I think Apple's gonna do what Apple do best. They're gonna simplify the crypto ecosystem, which is also complex right now, with elegance, sexy, simple design through limitation. This quote sums it up the best. It's worth highlighting that Apple always turns something that seems boring and dull into something fashionable and sexy. They did this with the personal computer, the iPod, the iPhone, the iPad, and now maybe crypto. And if and when Apple does crypto, they have the potential to set an industry standard for Web3 design by applying their own touch of Apple design. They're in an even stronger position to bring millions of people into crypto and even educate people about the entire Web3 ecosystem. I agree. Hit that subscribe button below and I'll see you in the next one.